Writing assignments at the university level often require an academic voice. There are certain aspects of academic voice that are more formal than everyday conversational speech. Typically, academic voice avoids informal language and utilizes an authoritative tone. Sometimes when someone speaks their opinion, they use an I statement at the beginning of the sentence. This allows the person listening to know that it is that person's belief. In academic writing, omitting the I statement and just stating the claim can be an effective approach. Keep in mind, if a teacher advises you to use I or you, these rules can be broken. Within this slide, we have an example of an I statement and a declarative statement. On the left, we have the example of the I statement. I believe the Writing Center is a good place to learn. On the right, we have the declarative statement. The Writing Center is a good place to learn. Notice the difference in tone between these two statements. Often, an I statement can be turned into a declarative statement by omitting the I part. Here are a few tips for academic voice. To get a sense of academic writing, take a look at academic articles or newspapers. Look at the writing style and the way that statements are organized. Look at details, such as how they present their arguments, specific vocabulary utilized, paragraph transitions, and organization. Generally, in academic texts, numbers 1 through 9 are spelled out. Large numbers, such as 17, can be displayed numerically. Although writers in business and technical fields may be instructed to use numerical representation for numbers 1 through 9. Limit the use of informal sounding contractions such as wanna, gonna, or kinda. Limit the use of informal abbreviations, for example, ASAP instead of as soon as possible. Most often, formal writing avoids foul language and everyday colloquialisms, such as dude or hella. Typically, academic writing avoids the use of the second person or you to address the reader. Speaking to the reader in second person can give the impression that an informal conversation is taking place between people who are familiar with each other, which is not usually the case. Speaking authoritatively is another aspect of academic voice. As the writer, you want to establish your ethos so the reader will believe that you're knowledgeable about your subject. Avoid using statements that show doubt and avoid self-deprecating comments about your lack of knowledge of a subject. To be more authoritative, support the statements that you make with evidence. To achieve an academic voice, avoid an opinionated tone. To argue a position without sounding opinionated or disrespectful to an opposing view, arguments should utilize standpoints and evidence for support. Counter-arguments are important because they show the reader you understand and respect multiple sides of an argument. Here is an example of an opinionated claim. Some people foolishly believe that the earth is flat, but... And here is an example of neutral tone. There are people who have concluded that the earth is flat, however, research shows. Avoid statements about the opposing group's reasoning. Focus on the logic of their claims and the evidence that supports your argument. A counter-argument lets the reader know that you respect the opposing opinion, even if you don't agree. Limiting adverbs and adjectives can help you achieve a more neutral tone. Concision is also important in academic writing. Do not use fillers when trying to create an academic voice. Some people want to imitate academic style by making sentences longer and using filler words. It is also not always beneficial to use words that could be seen as filler, such as very, really, or literally. Many adverbs such as these are not beneficial because they add wordiness to a sentence without adding content. Unneeded wordiness reduces the effectiveness of a sentence. Thank you for watching this resource on Academic Voice. If you have any further questions, feel free to make an appointment at the Writing Center. You can also find more writing resources by clicking on the link below.